What's going on, guys? We're doing a special video for you today. Amy is joining me, my amazing girlfriend. She has a lot of experience as well in subconscious work, reality shifting, and manifestation. Today is a special video because we're teaching you a bit more of how to reprogram your subconscious mind to create permanent shifts in your reality. Fast, exactly. So we know there's a lot of modalities out there, but this one that we have discovered and created is so much more effective at going to the deepest level of your subconscious mind and helping you shift your reality fast, permanently. Let's start by speaking about the 5 levels of change so that you understand a little bit more the context. Human beings change on 5 levels. Level number 1, which is the most important one, imagine this as the foundation of a pyramid, is the level of identity, right? Your self-image. That dictates everything around your life, your relationships, your money, how your self-image is. That's what you're going to manifest on the outside world. From identity, level 1, we jump into core beliefs and world views. So these core beliefs change your perception of reality. That's level number 2. Level number 3 is thoughts. Okay, from beliefs, you create thoughts. Level number 4 is emotions and feelings. And level number 5, which is the only one that we can actually see, are behaviors and actions. But that is level 5. Imagine how deep the pyramid goes, that if you actually want to change your behaviors, maybe remove self-sabotage, procrastination, worry about money and finances, a heartbreak, anything that you're experiencing, you need to go to the first level of identity. And when you shift from there, you change not only your core beliefs, but you also change your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And that is true subconscious reprogramming in my eyes. And that's how you really change your reality permanently and really, really fast. So now, love, I would love for you to share with everyone a bit more of your experience and the analogy that you told me yesterday, which I think is so powerful.
Yeah, so what you were talking about of the identity being at the base level,
Yeah.
one key thing to note is that we cannot outperform our self-image, which is our identity. And that comes from the book Psycho-Cybernetics.
Yeah.
So that's like a super key thing there. Another point is that this is why it's so difficult for people to make changes when they're just focusing on changing their behaviors. And that it feels like they're going against the current and it just feels
100%.
really hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like going upstream essentially. Whereas if you make the shift at the level of your identity, you just become the person that does the thing effortlessly because it's just part of who you are.
Yeah.
So then you wanted me to talk about law of correspondence. What was
Yeah.
it?
The mirror principle.
Mirror principle. So the law of correspondence states that the external reality is a reflection of our internal reality.
Yes.
And so using the levels of change is that we tend to make changes in the external,
Yeah.
like trying to change behaviors if we've already got a bad habit of overeating and we try not to, but it's just very difficult because the person that you are is the overeater, the emotional overeater.
Yeah.
So there's a really cool analogy that I shared with JP and our friends yesterday, which is that this is exactly, imagine you've got your computer, you've got a Word document open, you've written a story, you've printed out the paper, and then you notice that you've like either misspelled something or you've wrote a sentence wrong. And making changes in the external is like trying to scribble out that sentence on the paper and rewriting it on the paper. But really what you're meant to do is go back to the computer, back to the Word document, make the change there, and then it prints out in the physical. So that was the analogy.
Yeah, that's really powerful because it allows us to understand that subconscious reprogramming is the way to permanent change. And so one of the key things here is, which I think you guys will really resonate with, me and Amy have spent years doing all sorts of mindset coaching and inner work and breath work and yoga and meditations and microdosing. And so we've really become seekers of the truth of healing and awakening. But if you think about it, when you're doing inner work, it's almost like you're probing maybe into level 1 and 2. You might get lucky to get to level 3. It's almost like you have a blindfold on and you don't really know what you're even working on. And it's definitely helpful to start with, but then obviously you reach a point when there's a ceiling and you need and you want to go deeper.
Yeah, going back to the law of correspondence, this is how you actually see your subconscious. This is how you actually see what's in your consciousness, because the reality is reflecting to you your consciousness. And the thing is only 1 to 5% is conscious, which is what we have an awareness around. Whereas 95 to 99% is unconscious. So there are things happening in our lives. And if we choose to take responsibility for everything in our life, then there's always something to learn from it. There's always something that it will illuminate within our own consciousness of maybe it's a limiting belief that we have, maybe it's some trapped emotions or some trauma that we still haven't worked through. So most of it is unconscious, which means it's like under the table, you can't actually see it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll add one more thing to this, and then I would love for you to share the analogy of the weeds, and we can
Oh, yeah.
introduce people to transcendence healing so that they
Yeah.
can experience it for themselves. So what I want to add is, in this journey, as you start doing this deep subconscious work, you're actually purifying your true self. And so you get to shed all of the layers of conditionings that you thought you were, and your natural state automatically takes you back to more wholeness, to more peace, to more power, and to more presence. And so I want you to imagine this really cool scale that is on one side here, there is what we call falsehood or illusion. And on the other side, there's absolute truth.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is what we're purifying.
Exactly. And so all of the falsehood, all of the illusion, all of the trauma, all of the limiting beliefs is ultimately an illusion because all of it is based on fear. Below that scale, there's a corresponding scale. Below falsehood and illusion is hell on earth. It's suffering, it's pain, it's limitation. It's being the false God and the false identity. The more that you purify at a deep subconscious level, you're creating this permanent change that takes you deeper and closer to the absolute truth. And below the absolute truth, there is heaven on earth, which is literally just our natural state. So I think this is a really good indicator for us because you can test and understand in your own life, where am I in this scale right now? That will show you the truth of how effective the methods that you've tried have been. Yeah. And I think all of the methods are useful and they're just stepping stones. Yeah. People come to us to do this work with us with transcendence healing when they've tried a lot of stuff and they're just ready to take a leap into the ultimate next level of healing and transformation. And that's why we're so passionate about bringing this stuff to you guys. And so that's a really cool understanding of, okay, as I purify myself more, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You're not meant to be doing healing and shadow work for your whole life and having to continue to battle with your inner thoughts or negativity for your whole life. Like when you do this work the right way, your baseline decreases. Yeah. So you have way less negative thoughts, way less inner criticism, way less unworthiness, and you start going to the other side of the scale. More confidence, more power, more freedom. And that is the secret to permanent reality shifting. Yeah. Because your consciousness will always dictate your external reality. And the way that we create that is we need to get closer to the scale of absolute truth and permanent change.
Okay, yeah, this is about to be a full-blown masterclass because I'm about to drop some gems.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think
Drop
one of
them,
the
please.
common pitfalls when it comes to doing the inner work is that a lot of the modalities are focusing on just one dimension. For example, if you start with the physical, which is the most common place to start with, working on your nutrition and your fitness, but what ends up happening is that doesn't necessarily resolve your emotional overeating habit because the root is much deeper. And so the root cause is deeper than just the physical body. And an analogy, it's like when you work just at one dimension and not just the physical, but this is just an example. It's like trying to change a light bulb when the issue is faulty wiring. The root cause is actually deeper than that. And so then the second level or the second dimension that people tend to then go into is the mindset stuff in the mental level. And they can do this through mindset work. They can do this through therapy. And whilst those modalities can be very useful in expanding your self-awareness, it doesn't necessarily reach the root again. And that is one of the most common things I have with clients coming to me that have done therapy for years, literally for even a decade, I've had a client say. And the issue there is that they expand their awareness, but it's all around talk therapy. So you're just talking about your previous issues, previous challenges. And we both know, a lot of people know that where you put your attention and your focus, that's literally what you're creating because your attention is the channel through which your thoughts and your emotions flow through. And so what ends up happening is you just end up reinforcing old stories over and over again. A lot of things that happen too, unfortunately, and this is not to say everything. I know a very good therapist, for example, or psychologist, I should say. The grand majority, especially the people that come to me, that this is the experiences they've had where they end up opening up old wounds, old emotional wounds and trauma. And then the session finishes, they're left in an absolute state of panic, of adrenaline rushing, and they have zero tools to work through what they have. They just have to pay and leave. And then they have to deal with that for the next week. So the root cause is deeper than just the mental level. And then you go to the emotional. You start to learn about, trapped emotions in the body, trauma, somatic work, And that can be really helpful because a lot of our trapped emotions are trapped in the physical body. And that's also where people get into nervous system regulation work, because the nervous system is in your body.
It's going deeper and deeper.
Yeah, exactly. And even still, there are limitations with
There
that
is,
level. Yeah,
You need to go deeper.
exactly. So regulation is regulating. Regulation doesn't address the root cause of what's actually causing this disturbance in your body or the dysregulated nervous system or the root cause of these unsupportive habits. So then you take it another level deeper. After emotional, that's where you get to the deeper levels, which is the energetic levels. Something that I really explain, I did a masterclass on this a few months ago, is that a lot of people focus on the nervous system because it is responsible for everything from like how you think and how you act and all of these things. However, what's not spoken about is what actually powers up the nervous system. And that is where the actual gold is, because what powers up the nervous system is your energetic anatomy, is your energy bodies. So the way that works is, and I learned this through pranic psychotherapy healing, is that we absorb energy or prana or chi through three main sources. You absorb solar prana from the sun, air prana from the atmosphere, and then ground prana from the earth. And so when we absorb this energy from our surroundings, it goes into our chakra system, and that's where the energy is processed and then sent into the physical body through the nervous system. And so what we found time and time again is that when there are blockages in your chakras, what that means is that maybe only 5% or 10% of the energy is actually reaching your body. And if each chakra governs different themes in your life and governs different organs in your life, then,
Which I do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the energy's not reaching those specific areas.
And that's how we can start retracing back also chronic health conditions, allergies,
Yeah.
physical stuff. We're not only speaking here to you guys from theory, we've actually had a lot of different experiences and many, many successful case studies of people reversing chronic health conditions that were deemed uncurable, including ADHD, endometriosis, different allergies, chronic illnesses. That's just the physical stuff. But it all makes sense once we understand, as Amy was explaining, you just need to keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you find, okay, who's the real culprit here? How do I actually get to the root cause of everything and change from there? That's how you change your reality forever. That's how you change your identity forever into your true self. And so the beautiful work that we've evolved into, starting super beginner level, like from scratch, not knowing anything, what we want to share with you guys is when you work on the field of your being, you change everything else.
Yeah.
It's like if there was the biggest domino that you could knock down to make all of the other ones get knocked down, this is it.
Yeah.
And so that's why transcendent healing has been such a blessing for all of us. And it's the main reason why I created this channel, why Amy's doing her work, is because we're so amazed. We have been blessed with this way to almost hack our field, our energy, our identity, and change everything else.
Because to summarize, it's that the blueprint is energetic first,
Yes.
and then physical is the manifestation. So
Yes.
this goes back to our initial part of why we even started this, is because most people try and change things from the external.
Like us, like we
it's
had
our
to go
journey,
through all of the levels. Like
Well,
it
I'll
was
drop you the link to my masterclass to explain
literally
that.
trials, fears. But I feel like today we feel so close to heaven on earth, and the greatest joy that we could ever have is for all of us to go there, for more of us to come here, because this is what we deserve. This is our birthright. Yeah. So the next thing that I want to explain is your energetic blueprint, like your physical body. They came into this earth with perfect health and vitality. Like your nature is pure wholeness, limitless abundance and freedom. And so you can start to connect the dots and understand that when you do this purification, you're actually just returning home.
Yeah, because the root of the unsupportive habits, unsupportive behaviors, unsupportive feeling patterns, it's all energy, because emotions are energy in motion. Thoughts, beliefs, they all vibrate at a certain frequency because everything in the world is energy. And so that's why when you go to the blueprint and you start to do this work of purification, which is releasing and processing these trapped emotions, releasing the limiting beliefs, you're elevating your frequency, because you're releasing the dense energy. With, like, if you can put a photo up of like the map of consciousness so that they can see what each emotion calibrates at. And the ones under 200, they're just very dense, heavy emotions. And that's why most people feel like they're carrying this weight around with them through life. And so that's what the purification really is release the trapped emotions, release the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. And as a result of all of that, your whole life literally shifts.
So with this context and this foundation laid upon you, now you have the opportunity to try out this new vehicle that we've been blessed to bring to the world, which is TH, or Transcendence Healing. And so imagine a session, a meditation, that in 15 minutes, it allows you to release more than 500 subconscious blocks, multiple limiting beliefs, entrapped emotions and trauma, just all of the shebang, everything in one, permanently out of your body and your consciousness. And you feel that change instantly.
In the most gentle way as well.
In the most gentle way, yes, without pain. This is, in my opinion, the coolest and most efficient way to change your reality and create everything you want.
Yeah, shall I share the meme that I created?
I think that'll be a great closing, and then you guys can tap into the link and go watch that TH session.
First of all, I'm very proud that I made a meme because it has been very unique and challenging to find the right words to explain how transcendence healing actually works. And this is coming from, I'm a certified mindset coach, I'm a practitioner in 4 modalities, and so I have had experience as a practitioner training in all of these different modalities, and I'm comparing it to the effects of transcendence healing. And so we can insert it here somewhere. The way that I like to explain it is that traditional mindset tools or techniques, it's like you're pulling out weeds one by one, right? Like you work on one limiting belief at a time, you release one trapped emotion at a time. And now we have this amazing system, this amazing technology of transcendence healing, which is like this AI powered excavation machine that literally clears the entire field of all the weeds and prepares the land to plant new healthy seeds. So as you can imagine, it's like fast, it's powerful, it's effective, it's profound. It's like bulldozing all of the junk out of your system.
Literally.
In the most gentle way as well, which was amazing because I'm trained in trauma sensitive approaches and this is super trauma sensitive as well.
100%. Yeah, I think it's super exciting, guys. We would love to share this experience and this system with you. Go try it out. It's going to be an amazing experience. And let us know what you thought of this really cool video that we did. We are signing out. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, what is the session that you're going to give them?
We'll see.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise.
Okay.
Bali will decide. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.
To your greatest expansion and evolution, we love you.